My name is Jordan Leroy Hansen, also known as LeDev, and for this design around a card, I decided to actually do something a little bit funny. Rather than designing around one of the new Loas, I decided to go with one of my personal quote-unquote Loas, which is the Murloc, and decided to actually brew around a card that coincidentally I got 2 golden rares of when I did my original pre-release poll, which was Murloc Tastyfin. Now, the problem with this card in general is you don't really want to play it in an aggro Murloc deck because, well, there are better draw engines, and you would rather have Murlocs that are more aggressive oriented than, say, you know, just like a really passive stat for 4 mana, and then if it dies, it draws 2 cards, which then is counterintuitive since you don't really want your Murlocs to die. So, I'm actually going to try a weird brew, and I'm going to actually do something unique where I'm actually going to brew the deck on the stream. You know, just like being a little chef, cooking the deck up and such. And the first recipe I decided to put in here is Nightmare Amalgam. It's actually a Murloc we don't mind drawing with Tastyfin, especially with the additional spice of actually making it bigger. Now, how do we make it bigger, you may ask? Where we're going to throw in the card Dire Frenzy. Dire Frenzy, give a beast +3/+3, and shuffle 3 copies into your deck with +3/+3. So, it kind of makes sense. We could either use this to draw Nightmare Amalgam so we can play them along with Dire Frenzy, and then make them bigger, and in later game, we could just maybe draw bigger Nightmare Amalgams. Now, the thing to keep in mind, while it is tempting to have all the sub-archetypes and then, like, say, throw a Spider Bomb in, because then it's like, oh, maybe you'll shuffle a copy with the Death Rattle. Nah, it doesn't work like that. It just only shuffles a copy of Nightmare Amalgam with the buffed up stats, which would be a 6/7, which is not bad, don't get me wrong. It's actually pretty good. So, we're going to probably try it like that approach. So then now we're going to do a little bit more brewing. I think we can try Zujin in this deck, because Zujin, actually, if we can copy Dire Frenzy onto Nightmare Amalgam, that's actually pretty cool. So let's say we do it like that. Then it might be also good to try, say, we know most Murlocs are kind of cheap costs. So maybe we can play something along the lines like, say, the Quest. Because then we can just go to Murlocs. And then we can actually play our cheaper Murlocs, like a Murloc Tidecaller. And kind of like make the Geist that we're playing kind of like an aggro deck when we are kind of not. Like, we don't want to go full in onto the Murloc sub-archetype because we do want to draw these, like, Nightmare Amalgams and such. But I feel like we can throw in the 1-drop Murlocs that matter. Like, Lightsteel is actually not that bad. Maybe even we could play this and then Dire Frenzy it to get a 1-mana 4/4s with Lifelink, which is not a bad idea, actually. So, okay, we got that, we got that. We should probably put more 1-drops. I don't really want to play a Murloc Raider. So I think we're just going to now go back into the 1-drop Beast category, which in this case, we could probably throw in Druid McCall. Spring Brawl seems like a no-brainer in this deck, because if we either shuffle that, or if we Dire Frenzy that, it's a 1-mana 4/4 Rush, which is pretty good. Raptor Hatchling's not bad. Or Druid McCall. I think if we are going with a sub-theme being the Quest, we do need to put in the Wild Parrot, the Firefly, so that way we can have more consistently of casting the Quest. And then, maybe a Raptor Hatchling, I'm not sure. Druid McCall, okay, I think the realistic play is put in Raptor Hatchling, but I think I'm going to try Druid McCall since you can get some of the legendary Loas with Druid McCall, and getting some of them from other opponents' classes is kind of funny, so let's try it like that. Okay, so then we're going into that. We have Dire Frenzy as a spell, obviously. We know that, technically speaking, if we're crackling Razor Maul, we're probably just only going to do it on Druid McCall and such. I think this is not a great 2-drop at the moment, because not all 1-drops are beasts, so I don't think we should consider that. Revenge of the Wild is interesting. Yet again, not many of it is beast, but the main ones that we're looking on, Nightmare Amalgam, are beasts, so that's something to consider. Actually, if we take out the Walkpool Hunter in general, and then actually we can make this into a We can consider making this into a Prince Kalisev deck, but the problem is if we do it like that, then we lose a lot of really good 2-drop spells. But granted, a lot of people are playing Secret Hate at the moment, so maybe trying that out is not a bad idea. In that case, we would play spells such as Animal Companion, Deadly Shot, maybe Unleash the Hounds, maybe. I think one Master Scroll would be just good as a one-of, since we can draw into some of the beasts that we have in the deck, especially later game once we shuffle more Murlocs in. Master Shawl is something to consider. I think I want one multi-shot without a sweat. Flanking Strike's just a decent removal spell. Baited Arrows a maybe. Emerald Spellstow doesn't make sense since we're not the secret deck. Explosive Shot, it's not bad either. As a one-of, I would say. Baited Arrow's tempting. Velocity, I think, as a one-of too, just because if we want a quick way to complete the quest, that's pretty good. And do we have enough Death Rattles in this deck? Nah, not enough to consider like an Undertaker sub-strategy. We should probably just throw in Deathstalker Rexar, and, well, that's our tasty Murloc Beast Stew with the Murloc Tastyfin Nightmare Amalgam package. I don't know if this will work, but hey, it's kind of with the theme of today. Oh wait, before we get on to the deck, let's go back to Tasty Beast Stew. Let's find a nice card back for it. I think there was one that was kind of like a pot or cooking oriented, so I'll go with the themes. Let's see here. One that's kind of related to cooking. We could also do one that's kind of related to Murlocs too, but let's find a card back that actually works. Well, it is a campfire, and you cook stuff over a campfire, so let's go with that. Actually, sorry, I thought of a nice last-minute inclusion into the deck because, just for fun, it allows us to get more spells. So we go back to Tasty Beast Stew. We go to free drops. Let's see. It is in here as a one-of. The Witch's Cauldron. So we could probably cut out. Explosive Shot could probably hit our own stuff, so maybe we'll just do Witch's Cauldron then. Okay, now we're ready. I'll provide the deck list for this deck in the link caption below once you see this video, so you can look at the captions below if you want to try this deck out. I wouldn't exactly recommend this as a competitive deck, but who knows? Maybe catch myself by surprise. Maybe the low of the Murloc actually helped me make a sufficient deck archetype. Who knows? Pretty. Okay, let's give this a whirl. So we're probably going against Odd Mage.
You asked for it.
Let the hunt begin.
We want to keep the one drop there in the quest, so we're going to toss that. And we got a Murloc Tidecaller. That's actually pretty good. It's a one-drop Murloc. They don't suspect it, so we probably will play the Firefly. Well, first the Marsh, of course, but then second turn just Fire Elemental, so.
None
Yep,
will
Odd Mage.
survive.
There we go. So we're going to play the quest. And lucky enough, 2-drop, we can just play 2 Fire Elementals, so that works. Does the opponent have a 1-drop he wants to play? We're going against someone by the name of Cappuccino, so this should be interesting. I know. I forgot now what I should have put in the deck. I should have put in that 5-drop that allows you to draw 2 1/1s. I might put that in last minute just to test it out, but first let's do that. Change of plans. Change Okay, so free drop, probably a Pyromaniac? Nope, not Pyromaniac. Okay, that's good for us. Because all we're going to do is really just make the opponent wonder what the... So now we're telling the opponent you might want to peen the Murloc.
Reality.
Yep, he plays that. And he plays the Fiend that is considered a threat. Makes sense. Hey, there's a buddy. Okay. So I think we want to do an animal companion.
To my side.
Not what we wanted, but not the end of the world. So... I think
Blood will flow.
the opponent has the coin, so they might have like a Dragon's Fire and such. Especially with Arcane Artificers, so we have to consider not playing into that.
Reality. Woven.
Okay. Probably a Frostbolt or some damage space spell to generate armor. Nah, it looks like just the elemental package. Okay. Well, more Murlocs. We're 2 1-drops away from doing the quest, which is actually pretty cool. Yeah, we'll definitely... I'll probably do it post-rotation, or at least this after this match, but I think the 5 drops that makes you draw 2 1-drops from your deck is actually probably the best idea we should probably put in the deck. Maybe. Because we're now empty-handed, and our opponent has 6 cards in hand, and we are now at the mercy of the top deck. Okay. The opponent's looking at trade options. Oh, Blast Wave! Whoa! Okay, that was good for the opponent. He actually got a lot of extra cards out of that. So this is interesting. Ooh, we get to complete the quest. Nice! We'll just have to Hero Power this turn, but quest completed! Which is also perfect, because if we draw like a Zujin or something like that, then we can just redo the quest again. With a bunch more 1-drops, Raptors in the deck as well, so that's actually really good. The opponent will probably try to do another board wipe if he can. Though that was a really good blasting wave. Like that. Let's see. He got 1, 2, 3. About 3 extra cards from it. That's really good. And if he does Blast Wave again, then he's going to get 2 extra cards from it. And just... It'll be interesting what the opponent does here. Okay, a Shifting Scroll into a Blizz... Ah. Yeah, that was a good Shifting Scroll. But... let's get a Queen in, shall we? We'll save the Screen Crawl just in case if we need it for a trade. We haven't drawn any of the highlight card of the deck, which is Murloc Tastyfin, but... okay, yeah. If we can, we need to kill that as soon as possible. Because the card draw engine on this is absurd. Okay. That's kind of perfect, actually. Bye-bye. Now, in theory, the better play would probably have been the Spring Paw into the I always forget this name, Flame Elemental, then did the Deadly Shot so it could did 8 damage to the face. But I'm saving this just in case if we get the second version of the quest. Okay, so that's dead. And also helps against with trades like this, so... Okay, let's draw a card. Let's draw a card.
Amazing.
Let's draw a card. Let's draw a card. Okay, let me actually do some math here, because we probably need to do this so we can get rid of the kitty so he doesn't do a flame elemental, so I think I'm just going to do that real quick. Now, draw a card. And draw a card.
Job's done.
And okay. The opponent obviously has a board wipe here, but digging into our deck is actually pretty practical in this case. Okay, not a board wipe, but still a good card. Not a board wipe. Okay, this is where we want our second Deadly Shot, or a good removal spell.
Well played. Well played.
Okay, opponent, it's not over yet. It's not.
Spirit of the flame, turn them to ash!
Okay, that's a good play, because then, if I recall correct... Why did you play the Flame Elemental? Okay. So, we have to play that. I didn't think that is game, though, because then what happens is the opponent does have the Barrageddon, so yeah. Okay, that did not kind of go according to plan. Really, opponent? Oh. Oh, I get it, because then I would die by Ragnaros. Okay, okay, I see the logic there. That was a little risky, though. Okay. But even then, even if he destroyed the Ragnaros, he got the hero power, so... Okay. 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 Yep. Always be a good sport. Okay. Let's go back to what they say, the drawing board, but I did complete a quest, which was nice. Okay, back to the drawing board. Okay, so... The one fire drop I forgot that probably would be relevant in this is... I'll probably put it in as a one-of Tovia Warden. So what would be cut for that? You could probably cut the Master's Call, since it's more just situational discovery. And it's better just to have the Tovia Warden, just in case if we need to complete the quest sooner. So, I think that is the play. We shall try round 2 with this deck.
Alexa versus Anduin. The light shall bring victory.
Let the hunt begin.
On the coins. So... Now, this could be a variety of things. This could be Control Priest. This could be Death Rattle Priest. This could also be that...
Greetings.
Just Quest Priest in general.
Greetings.
Greetings, traveler.
Okay, so...
Thank you.
Truth is found in death.
We probably want to do that as soon as possible. Then we play the quest. And we do this.
Blood will flow.
Then we got 2 1-drops. We got an Iron Fur Grizzly.
Let the pain speak to me.
Okay, this could be probably Mechaflin Priest as well, so I gotta keep that in mind.
To my side.
That works.
Blood will flow.
Well played.
Thanks.
Meddlesome insect.
Well played.
Okay. So we got about... We played 1, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Monkeys. So it looks like Dragon Priest, which is not a bad archetype, I'll say. Okay. So, we got that, we got that. And confuse the opponent a teeny bit. So yeah, we're 1-1-drop away from completing the quest. That's pretty good. That's...
How long can this go on?
Okay, good.
How long can this go on?
Ah! Oh, that was such a good play. Hey! Okay, the problem is we are going to nil a card if we do that, but...
Bow to the fang and claw.
Because what's going to happen is, once we play this, it's going to go boop, and then adds the quest into here, which then is going to make us burn a card. But on the other hand, we have a bunch of 1/1s. I think it's safe to say our hand's decent. So yeah. He did got a couple of Serenite Chain Gains in his deck with the Spirit of the Dead, so we gotta keep that in mind.
How long can
And heck, he even top decked it, which is actually... Okay, that's kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. But, little annoying, but funny. Oh, this must be the...
My hand is too full.
I'm trying to remember, did the intro deck have the Nightmare Amalgam's
Try to
Dragon package? I think it did. Yeah, we can still do this. So all we have to do is this, and then go boop, boop, boop.
job done?
Because we don't want any more Serenite Chain Gains in his deck.
Well played.
Though the problem is, our opponent could actually... If this is the deck I think it does run a copy of Seance. So what the opponent could do is Seance and actually shuffle Raptors into his deck. Or just play Psychic Scream, which we don't mind, actually. We don't mind an additional copy of the Murloc in our deck, so that's actually pretty good. We'll play an Iron Fur Grizzly. Do we want to Dire Frenzy that Iron Fur Grizzly? Not really. I'll just play a few 1-drops just to empty the hand a little bit. So, if this is what I think it is, I think this is the, yeah, it's the Surrender Madness Quest Priest. Just win.
I must consider.
Okay. Opponent? Okay. There you are. We're gonna put a couple of those into our deck. Make our opponent a little confused.
Have enough mana.
But the problem is he does have Surrender to Madness, which does mean he does have bigger cost creatures. I mean, bigger than Keliseth, which is certain something.
Is someone injured?
Okay, so he's gonna use the card draw engine aspect.
Out of my
Oof.
jungle!
Oof. Ooh. Ouch. Well, at least no Spirit of the Dead, so... Progress? Question mark? Question mark?
Not quite what was planned.
More Nightmare Magas! Keep the Lynxes in our hand since we don't really have an efficient trade at the moment. Okay, I'm guessing the opponent's trading?
Not quite what was planned.
Okay. We're gonna shift.
Come to me,
Draw
little
some.
ones!
6, 7, 8, 9. Doesn't really matter. We're just gonna draw a card. And then we're gonna draw a card. And we will play you soon, but not now.
Truth is found in
There we go. Now the opponent has the Keliseth buff, and they have...
How long can this go on? How long can this go on?
Oof, this is going to be... We're gonna have to do some math on here. So, do that. Then we trade. It shuffles a copy of Witchwood Grizzly. We do that. Shuffles a copy of Trident. Then we can just... bump here. And honestly, bump. Bump. Yeah. Murloc Tastyfin can now shine. And judging by our deck, we'll probably draw the... Yep, we're gonna draw the Nightmare Amalgams, which is nice. Well, we'll draw a card. Yeah, we kinda got it. Perfect!
Well played.
Well, at least that one got buffed. Okay, we're drawing some cards. Hello. you soon.
Greetings.
Well, wait, opponent. We'll see what your play is. Okay, okay. Well, let's see. We'll do this. We'll see what your response is to this. Wait, I should have kept one of them because I needed to.
Well played.
Yeah, we could have hoped that the Animal Companion went off
Well
first.
played.
Thanks.
You'll be too done.
And the best part is, that's why we saved the 1-drops. But nah, our mistake there is we should have waited on trading until we had the, because then we could have Dire Frenzied one of these in, which would help us complete the second version of the quest, which would be pretty good. But yeah. Whoopsies. That was a little mistake I made, but hey.
Well played.
Now it's good.
Still, we have more cards in our deck, and we're going to add more once we complete the quest a second time, so yeah. Oh, phew. I thought for a minute that had rush.
You have faith.
You'll be too kind.
Oh, that was a good game. We even showed a little bit off the Murloc Tastyfin, which was perfect. So, overall, let me show off the deck real quick. This is the Tasty Beast Stool. You could probably modify it a little bit more, just if you want to do some more tweaking and such. But I hope you guys enjoyed the deck. The deck list will be in the captions below in a Hearthpond leak, so... Or I could probably just... Actually, I just need to remember to copy the deck code. I could just do that too. One or the other. Nevertheless, I hope you all enjoyed the video. This is Jordan Leroy Hansen, also known as Led Dev, signing out.